Hi everyone, welcome to our English class. For today we are going to talk about has to and have to. First, I have a question. When do you use have to or has to? ¿Cuándo utilizamos has to or have to? Okay, remember, we use have to or has to for obligation, para obligaciones. Something that you have to do. Algo que usted tiene que hacer, ¿ok? Now, in have to, you have to write and you have to write in this form. First, you have to write the subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Or you can use names, Maria, Juan, Felipe, okay? My mother, my father, my sister. Okay, then you have to add has to or have to. According to the subject, you have to write have to or has to. De acuerdo al sujeto, usted va a escoger si usa have to or has to. Remember, in the third person, when you talk about he, she, and it, you have to use has to. Cuando hablamos de la tercera persona, he, she, and it, one person, you have to use has to. For example, I have to travel. Yo tengo que viajar. You have to travel. He, she, and it, you use has to. He has to. She has to. It has to. Ok, recuerden, la tercera persona, he, she, and it, ocupamos has to. We have to. And they have to. Ellos tienen que trabajar. We have to. Nosotros tenemos que trabajar. She has to. In this case, she has to travel. Ella tiene que trabajar. Ok. He has to travel. Él tiene que trabajar. Remember, you use have to or has to para obligaciones. Algo que usted tiene que hacer. Okay, now in negative, you have to use the auxiliar do and does. But in negative, don't and doesn't. Para la negativa ocupamos los auxiliares don't, doesn't. Remember, with he, she, and it, the third person, you have to use doesn't. And con los siguientes personal pronoun, you have to use don't in negative. For example, I don't have to travel. Yo no tengo que viajar. You don't have to travel. She, he, and it doesn't. He doesn't have to travel. Recuerde, when you use an auxiliar, the verb you have to write in the base form. Recuerde que cuando nosotros ocupamos un auxiliar, el verbo lo escribimos en su forma base. Por ejemplo, en afirmativa, ocupamos he has, she has, it has. Pero en la negativa, doesn't have. She doesn't have. It doesn't have. Como tenemos un auxiliar, el verbo se pone en la forma base. She doesn't have to travel. It doesn't have to travel. We don't have to travel. They don't have to travel. Ellos no tienen que viajar. Okay, don't forget that it's so important the auxiliar that you have to use in have to with the pronouns I, you, we, they, and the auxiliar that you have to use with he, she, and it. Now, let's practice. In this case, Martin study. In this case, ¿qué tiene que utilizar? Has to or have to. If you talk about one person, you have to use has to. The correct answer is has to. Martín has to study. Martín tiene que estudiar. In this case, Martín and John space study. Have to or has to. What is the correct option? ¿Cuál es la opción correcta? Have to or has to? Very good. According to the subject, de acuerdo al sujeto, Martín and John, you have to use have to. Cuando hablamos de dos o más personas, recuerde, utilizamos have to, and when we talk about I, yo, you use the same, have to. In this case, Martin and John have to study is the correct option. Next, Luis and George. In this case, in negative. ¿Qué tenemos que usar en negativa? Si decimos Luis and George, Luis y Jorge, don't have to or doesn't have to. If you talk about two people, you use don't, the auxiliary of the present, el auxiliar del presente do, in negative don't, with the have to. Okay? Luis and George don't have to work now. Luis y Jorge no tienen que trabajar ahora. Okay? Now, with the next. Luis, work now. In this space, en este espacio, ¿qué tiene que escribir in negative? Don't have to or doesn't have to. Remember, in this case, you have to use in negative the auxiliary of the present, does, but in negative, doesn't. And the verb in base form, doesn't have to. Recuerde que cuando utilizamos el auxiliar, el verbo va en su forma base, no podemos conjugarlo. Doesn't have to. Luis doesn't have to. Luis no tiene que trabajar now, ahora. Okay? Please carefully when you use an auxiliary. Look at these examples, okay? I have to brush my teeth. Yo tengo que cepillar mis dientes. You have to use with I have to. With you, the same. You use have to. Brush your teeth. Ok, recuerde, I, yo, with you, usted utiliza have to. Brush your teeth. He, with the third person, we use in negative doesn't. And the verb in the base form, have to. He doesn't have to brush his teeth. Recuerde, his significa su, de él. Para decir algo que le pertenece a una mujer, her. Okay. She has to brush her teeth. Ella tiene que cepillar sus dientes. With she, with the third person, you use has to. Next, we don't have to brush our teeth. Nosotros no tenemos que cepillar nuestros dientes. In negative, you have to use with we don't. And the same verb. Don't have to brush our teeth. Now, next, they. They have to brush their teeth. Ellos tienen que cepillar sus dientes. Okay? In this part is the same. You use have to with they. Okay? Now, you have to copy this grammar on your notebook. Tiene que copiar esta gramática en su cuadernito. Okay? This is your homework, and now we are going to start with your questionnaire. Please copy your questionnaire on your notebook. Copie su cuestionario, por favor, en su cuadernito. Question number 1. Choose the correct answer. What do you use like connectors? Recuerda cuál utilizábamos como connectors, como conectores. During, until, while, as soon as. B. First, second, third. According to this unit and the question, we use during, until, continue. Excellent. The correct answer is letter A. La respuesta correcta es la letra A. Very good. Number 2. Choose the correct answer. When do you use have to? We use have to for obligations. We use have to for actions. We use have to for suggestions. According to this class, we use have to for obligation. Nosotros utilizamos have to or has to para obligaciones, algo que tenemos que hacer. The correct answer is letter A. La respuesta correcta es la letra A. Question number 3. Choose the correct option to complete the sentence. He has working in a hospital space 6 years. Tenemos que escoger el conector correcto para completar la oración. During, and, or but. Como esta oración habla de un periodo de tiempo, the correct option is during. Él estuvo trabajando en un hospital durante 6 años. Okay, no podemos poner y 6 años o but, pero 6 años. The correct option is during. Excellent. Question number 3. Choose the correct option to complete the sentence. I like swimming. I hate the beach. What is the correct option? But or and? The correct option is letter A, but. ¿Por qué? Porque estamos contrastando. Me gusta nadar, pero odio la playa. Okay? Now, let's start with the question number 5. Choose the correct option to complete the sentence. My mother, space, my father, worked in an office during 10 years. Letter A, and. B, during. C, but. Como estamos diciendo, mi madre y mi padre, we have to use and. During, no, porque no estamos hablando de un periodo de tiempo. Y but, no, porque no estamos contrastando una idea. The correct option is letter A. Okay, y mi madre y mi padre trabajan en una oficina durante 10 years, 10 años. Okay, my dear student, this is the first class. Please do the homework and copy your questionnaire. And please study. Bye bye. See you later.